Good evening, good evening. It's a great day to be alive in my right mind, and I thank God for it. Also, I have the power because I'm connected to the power source, Jesus. I'm so glad to be able to come to you this afternoon, and we're talking about our support group we had this month on the 20th, and we had at our 2 o'clock session we had Stacy Lynn Adams and Christine Fitzgerald. They're with Runway to Life, and it was founded by Stacy Amsler. And we're so grateful for them. We're so grateful. No, I'm sorry, it's Alicia Amsler. She founded it. My mistake. So they talked about one of the main things is human sex trafficking. Now, this is a group that help people with mental health issues. They have people going through domestic violence. They have people in an array of things. But the new one that they have started looking at, and this one really touched my heart, is human trafficking. Because human trafficking is it's a bad thing, of course. It's a widespread thing. And these are young children. A lot of times they're mostly girls, I believe. But it can be boys and girls and men and women. But my heart goes out because they were talking about the mental anguish that they go through. They are working along with I think other organizations because they had to do housing and other things, but Runway to Life, they help out with the mental health support group. So thank you, Stacey Lynn Adams and Christine Fitzgerald. And they just are two wonderful believers in Christ. They are so energetic and so excited about what they are doing. And I thank God for that. And so again, I'm really putting emphasis on the human trafficking, but also, especially you add COVID to all of this, and the onset of COVID, you have people who are coming in for counseling. But now when COVID really hit us, these same people could not really go in and get the counseling physically. They did it virtual. Then many were in domestic situation, violent domestic situation, where they had to really and literally stay in the house with that violent partner along with the children. So my heart was just saddened and broken. Of course, I've heard about this, read about it, but to have someone to working with people with this and to hear them, it was just heartbreaking. So we need to really pray for them. We're soliciting your prayers for anyone in any agency, organization, ministries that are helping people like this. Now, we're not out of the woods yet. COVID is still there, but we want to make sure that we get the help and give the help to those who are going through mental health challenges. And you may not be going through it. You could also meet someone who is going through it and get the education and the help of this support group. You'll be able to help them better, of course, through the Spirit of the Lord. Now, at 6 o'clock, we had a wonderful guest, Dr. Christina Allen Roach. She came forward, and she's the principal at Beulah Elementary School in Chesterfield County, Virginia, where I reside, and is on a few miles from my home. And I go out there on each week on Fridays, and we have a fellowship, Bible study, inspirational time before the students come into the school with any of the staff there. So I thank God for that He has blessed me to do that. But she came from the educational perspective of COVID-19, of mental health challenges, and she's the principal there at that school. Of course, she's got to deal with herself, her family, then her staff, then the students and the parents in the community. So she has a lot on her plate, as well as other administrators. And she had mentioned at the end of the day, when she comes home, she just wants to exhale. She doesn't want another challenging thing right then, because by the time she put out one fire at school, there are 4 or 5 more. But she had talked about it when COVID really hit, and we had Joanna Jarrell, who's a teacher and instructor there at the school a couple of months ago, and she talked about what she went through, what they had to go through, especially with the mental health challenges and the onset of COVID-19. So Dr. Christina, of course, with all this on her plate, very, very challenging. But she was talking about, of course, the staff were nervous, the students, their parents. There were students already going through different challenges, mental health challenges, abuse, or whatever, like any other school going through in their home. Then you add COVID to that, and it was very, very challenging. And still, we're not out of the woodworks. We still have to pray, still have to be vigilant, we still have to be careful of all of this. So I'm saying she brought forth some great, great information. And so we need to be wise. We need to pray for them. Excuse me. She talked about how self-care is much needed. If you can't look out and keep yourself healthy, how can you help someone else? We're talking about restoration practices, teachable moments. So a mindset change, all of these things, because sometimes she was saying that the students, as well as staff, faculty and staff, they felt helpless, especially, again, adding COVID to that. And she has stated there are 41 schools in the county, and us a whole lot, like any district, any other school area, many things they had to deal with. So I'm glad Dr. Christina came aboard to give us even a more and a greater perspective from the educational side. We got to remember, they are humans too. They have feelings too. They want to go home at the end of the day safely. They want to be at work safely, with safety. So it's a challenge. Our educational system, just like any other system or entity, is really going through with the mental health challenges and along with COVID-19. So we are so thankful that she came along. And I want to give my kudos to Alicia Amsler, as I'm going back to the 2 o'clock session. She is the founder of Runway to Life, which Stacy, Lynn, and Christina spoke on. So we're so grateful that we've had and going to have people across the board to come on this support group session to lend a helping hand to do God's will, that he'll be pleased. So next month, for November, we'll plan on having a pastor and his wife to come aboard and give mental health issues from the COVID standpoint, what they had to go through as far as the COVID and keeping the people together in their homes together. Then also Alicia Amsler of Runway to Life. She will be on that 2 o'clock session. So spread the word. We're out here to try to help people. Simple Balanced Lives, presenting the New Horizon Mental Health Support Group. It's about giving God the glory and helping people, because the Lord will have us to prosper and to be in health, even as our souls prosper. The Lord is just as concerned about our mental health as he's concerned about the other areas of our lives. So please contact us if you have a story you want to share, you want to be a facilitator, or you just want to come in and listen as the session goes on. You're welcome. Until November session, we'll see you, and have a great rest of the day.